Everyone, welcome to Everything Football and welcome to the Match Day 10 deadline stream, the quarterfinal second leg. Very, very big games coming up today, very big games coming up tomorrow as well. So let me know about your team. How is your team looking? We have all the team is scrolling down the bottom, just correct something there. All the team is out, Real Madrid, Chelsea, and also the other game between AC Milan and Napoli. All the team is out. So I'll quickly answer your question, Drake, because you're here very early. I've seen you've asked about Tomori and Care. Any of them could be okay. Also, Juan Jesus is 4.2 million from Napoli. I mean, if you're feeling like you could go for one player from Chelsea for 1 week, you can go for Cucurella, is around that price as well. Chalobah is 4.2 as well, but I wouldn't really go for a Chelsea player unless you just want to be different. You don't want to go for one Chelsea player. That could be okay, but for now, I would go for the ones that you gave me, either Tomori or Juan Jesus from Napoli. The players like Juan Jesus, those ones are for just 1 week, and the players like Cucurella, because I don't expect any of them to be playing in the next round. Tomori could be playing in the next round. How are you, Liad, as well? Already have the Lorenzo Di Biwise to go with 4 Napoli players. I mean, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3. I have 4 Napoli players myself, so that isn't too bad. 4 Napoli players isn't too bad. Ripper, how are you? Huge challenge tomorrow for you guys. Big game. You need to go there and score 3 goals to win. Thoughts on the comeback of Weston? Do you think Arsenal is still in the Premier League? It's going to be tough, but I'm still hopeful. Yasina as well. Current squad: Courtois, Vlachodimos, Rahmani, Cavallal, Di Lorenzo, Grimaldo, Upamecano, KDB. I've not had a player from Bayern Munich like since the group stage or something. Like, it's crazy. KDB, Kvaratskhelia, Vinicius, Mario, Kimmich, Ramos, Benzema, Haaland. 3 transfers left, 0.7 million left. So goalkeepers. Di Lorenzo Vlachodimos. Now, it depends. Do you feel like Benfica are going to overturn a two-goal lead? Ripper is a Benfica fan. Do you think they're going to overturn a two-goal lead? If you don't think so, you can start changing the goalkeeper from Vlachodimos to someone else who's playing tomorrow, so that you start sorting out the problems for the semi-final, because you only get 5 transfers, and if like 7 or 8 of your players have been eliminated, you're going to have a bit of a problem. But I can see Rahmani, Cavallal, Di Lorenzo, Grimaldo, Pamecano. Now, I think Man City will still score a couple of more goals in that game, so I'd be very tempted to replace Upamecano. Maybe the defender from Inter Milan, so I would probably remove Upamecano for a defender from Inter Milan. The likes of Damian could be okay. He's only 4.2 million and he's really been getting a lot of points, so I would bring in Damian for Pamecano, KDB, Kvaratskhelia, Vini, Mario Kimmich. No problem with that. To be honest, I'd also be tempted to take either Vlachodimos out or Ramos out, one of them. Mostly Ramos for Osimhen. That is what I'd do. Osimhen is playing today. We know he's starting, so I would take out Ramos for Osimhen. That is what I would do. And then the other transfer could be anything. If you want to take out Vlachodimos as well, if you want to take out Kimmich as well, but I would be targeting the Benfica and the Bayern Munich players. At least take out a couple of them, because they are trailing by more than 2 goals. I'm heading into the second legs. How you Sparta? I want to replace Upamecano, Kimmich, and Ramos, but with who? Good question. As I said, Damian defensively for Upamecano. Midfield, if you want to remove Kimmich, you already have KDB, Kvaratskhelia, Vinicius, Mari. I mean, Zielinski could be an option. I expect them to attack a lot today, so Zielinski will be going forward if you can afford it. I think you can afford it. I think they're almost the same price with Kimmich. And then Ramos, Osimhen. Osimhen is slightly, I think, almost the same with Ramos. I think it's cheaper than Rafa, so I think almost the same with Ramos. So that is what I'd do. Osimhen, Damian, and maybe Zielinski in midfield. Vlachodimos, Courtois, Ruben Diaz, Damian, Grimaldo, Di Lorenzo, Cavell, Vini, Rodrigo, Kvaratskhelia, KDB, Rodri, Benzema, Osimhen, and Haaland. I mean, forward line looks good to me. Midfield looks good to me as well. KDB probably starts. I don't know if he plays 90 minutes, but I think he probably starts. Defensively as well, looks good. Defensively looks good as well. I can easily switch Maris to Rodrigo and take Rahmani. How many transfers did you say you have? Hope if that is not for a hit, if you have the transfers to do that, then you can do that. No problem at all. So for me, this is my team for this week. Let me just do this. I have made all 3 transfers already. Remove this from screen. So I have taken out, let me go to this. So up front, I have Osimhen, Benzema, and Haaland. I have taken out Rafa Silva for Osimhen. That was the first transfer I made. In midfield, I have kept Tonali. I have kept Kvaratskhelia, Vinicius, and Joao Mario as well, but I've taken out Mahrez for Rodrigo. That means I'm only going with one Man City player, but for the next round, I expect Man City to be there, so I will be bringing in maybe 2 of their players in the semi-final. And then defensively, Rahmani, Theo Hernandez, Cavallal, Di Lorenzo, and Grimaldo, and then at the back, Courtois and Onana. So the 3 changes I've made: Osimhen on for Rafa Silva. I've also taken out Mahrez for Rodrigo, and I've also taken out Kepa for Courtois. So that is also building to the next round. So basically, I've gone for 5. Is it 5? 5 Real Madrid players. I've gone for 4 Napoli players. I've gone for 2 Benfica players, and then 2 AC Milan players, and 1 from Inter, and then 1 from Man City. I don't have any Chelsea players, and I don't have any Bayern Munich players. I think from this squad here, I would expect the likes of Benzema to definitely go through all 5 of Real Madrid players. Now, if disaster can happen, disaster would be Chelsea win to then Real Madrid go out, and then all of a sudden we have like five players to take out from this team. So we are hoping such disasters don't happen, but that could happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but you know what I mean? Like, if it happens, then you're going to have a bit of a disaster. That is where it becomes a bit dangerous to go with 4 or 5 players from one team. But I think they're definitely going to be there. And then if AC Milan go out, let's say Tonali, Theo Hernandez, I'll just take them out next time because we get 5 transfers. Or if Napoli go out, I will take out 4 of their players. But hopefully it's not a combination of, like, let's say Napoli and Real Madrid both go out. That will be a bit of a problem unless you have a wildcard or something. I don't think both teams could go out. They are losing 2-0 currently, so if they go out, Mario and Grimaldo, just take them out maybe for months to defend and someone for the next run. But hopefully Real Madrid go through 4 starts. Madrid go through faster, then that is okay. We get five. I get 5 players for the next round, but that is how my team is looking. Every one of them is starting today, so I think that is great. For the ones who are looking for replacements for Kim, Chalobah could be an option at 4.5 million. I think Madrid will definitely score, but if you're feeling brave and you want a Chelsea player, the likes of Kukurea could be options as well. But that is how my team is looking like at the moment. Um, let's see. 2 transfers, one for Mahrez, one for Kim. Go ahead, Ray. That sounds good. One I did for Osimhen. I could go with Osimhen, Grealish, and one of City's centre back, but would be better to cover the Milan. Yeah, it would be definitely better to cover the Milan clubs because they do keep a bunch of clean sheets in the Champions League. Like Onana's kept, I think Onana's kept 5 clean sheets in the Champions League this season with Inter Milan, and I think AC Milan have kept like 6 clean sheets in a row or something in the Champions League. Like both of them don't consider a lot of goals. Like they win 1-0 and then the next leg they defend and it comes out 0-0. So both teams could be good to have at least a defender from both teams. So yeah, I wouldn't really be targeting a Man City defender. I think Bayern will definitely score. They'll have to go for it. I think they'll definitely score this time. Inter Milan and AC Milan could pack the bus, especially Inter Milan. They could just go and look for a 0-0 against Benfica. I saw Madrid will be able to defeat City and Bayern. That will be a big game. I think it's going to be Man City. I don't think it's going to be Bayern. Man City are really on form. Like even in the league, we have to be careful. Like with them, they're very, very on form right now. Martin Zaya says Courtois, Lacademos, Grimaldo, Theo Hernandez, Carvajal, Lorenzo, Ruben Diaz, Valverde. They say one free transfer, 0.5 million remaining. So forward line, no problem. My last transfer was taking out Mahrez, so I can also take out Mahrez. So different options you can bring in: Rodrigo today, Valverde today, Zielinski today as well. Any of them you can bring in. Depends on which team you prefer. Most you already have Valverde, so you have Valverde, Vinicius, Carvajal, Benzema. So you have 4 Madrid players. If you want to go for a fifth, you can bring in like a Rodrigo instead of Mahrez. But if you want 5 players from Madrid, you can go for the Zelensky midfield or someone. Don't jinx it. I won't. But surely not. Surely Chelsea cannot beat Real Madrid 3-0. Chelsea have scored like 1 goal in 2 months. Like surely they can't get 3 goals. Like it's so bad that their own fans are like, no, we are going to lose 3-0. That's when you know it's really, really bad. Um, Jose says best captain, and Alicia as well says captain choice. Anyone? So at the moment, I have the captaincy on Kvaratskhelia, but I'm really tempted to go to Vinicius because of just Chelsea's form, and also I feel like AC Milan can. As I said, I think they've kept 6 clean sheets in a row in the Champions League, AC Milan, and the last time they played against Napoli 3 weeks ago at Napoli's place. Forget about the one they played last week, the one they played in the league. They beat them 4-0, so they kept a clean sheet at Napoli's place. So it's not it wouldn't be crazy if Napoli didn't score today. So I think it's more likely that Real Madrid score against Chelsea than Napoli score against AC Milan, even though Napoli at home. So I would be tempted to go with the Real Madrid players in order: probably Vinicius, then Benzema, then Kvaratskhelia, and Osimhen. Those would be the top 4 captains. But it really depends on who you trust more. Do you trust Real Madrid more against Chelsea? Do you trust Napoli more against AC Milan? But it definitely has to come from those two teams. Which defender can I get from Real Madrid or AC Milan? I have 5.4 million cash. Do you already have Carvajal in your team? Carvajal is directly at 5.4 million. If you already have him in your team, if you want some Milan defender, probably Tomori at the back. So those two, Carvajal or Tomori. Alaba is starting as well. And last time what we saw, Rudiger came on and Alaba pushed to the left side. So he can get maybe a half on the left side as a left back. You never know. So in order, I would go for Carvajal, then Alaba, then Tomori. Ramos or Osimhen, I would go for Osimhen because they're at home. I think that's kind of an easy one for me. And they had to rush him back as well, so it shows that how important he is. I think they will create more chances than Benfica will away at home to Inter Milan. Inter Milan could easily just pack the pass at home tomorrow. Courtois merit, I would go for Courtois. As I said, Chelsea just don't score goals, man. And the one they scored the other day, it was a deflection. Like a real Chelsea goal. We've not seen a real Chelsea goal for like 2 months. Best Inter and Milan defender, Theo Hernandez and Damian. So Damian from Inter, Theo Hernandez from AC Milan. The initial ones, maybe Tomori from AC Milan. Those would be the differentials. But I'm happy this team. I think I'll probably change the captaincy from Kvaratskhelia to Vinicius. I'm really tempted to do that. Last time I had Benzema as my captain and I regretted it because Vinicius I was absolutely on fire and I think he got double figures. So that is kind of that was kind of a downer. But I think today I won't risk it. I'll go for him. And I have 2.3 million in the bank. I don't know what I'm doing with that. But as I said, disaster could happen. At the moment, let me show you guys my prediction. The moment which teams I think will go through, which teams will go out. So I've gone for Chelsea to score somehow today. I've gone for Real Madrid to get another 3 goals. So 3-1 there. That would be like 5-1 on aggregate. So another easy Real Madrid win. I can see them scoring within the first 50 minutes of that game as well. So that will mean Vinicius, Benzema, Rodrigo all getting involved, hopefully. I've gone for Napoli to beat AC Milan 3-2. So that definitely means Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia will get on the score sheet. There's a chance AC Milan could try and just keep a clean sheet. As I said, I think they've got 6 clean sheets in a row in the Champions League. They don't consider a lot of goals in the Champions League. But Napoli have to go for it. And if they pull out the form they've had this season, then they will score goals. But this will mean extra time. So if you get extra time as well, another chance for your players to get more points. So if there's a game that could go to extra time, I've gone for Napoli, AC Milan, Napoli to win 3-2, or maybe it could be something like 2-1 that will mean extra time. Tomorrow, Ripado, you can close your ears now. I've gone for Inter Milan and Benfica to draw 1-1, which will mean Inter Milan go through. It would be so interesting if you get AC Milan and Inter Milan in the semi-final. No one expected that. A Milan derby. I think the last time we had a Milan derby in the Champions League, like something like 2003 or something, a long time ago. Then I think it was the time that we got that iconic picture from, was it Gattuso and Materazzi or something. And then I've gone for Bayern Munich to beat Man City 3-2. I've been looking at this prediction. I'm like, will they though? Will they beat them? I actually don't think so. I feel like it's going to be 2-2. I just given Bayern Munich a third goal because they'll just have to go for it, and maybe Man City will take out a couple of players, and Bayern could get another chance, and they could score from that. So that's why I've gone for that. But so that will mean Man City win that by 6-3 on aggregate. That will mean Real Madrid against Man City, Inter Milan against Napoli in the semi-final, according to me. So that means in terms of my team, I will have to take out Mario and Grimaldo. And Tonali and Theo Hernandez. So Napoli to win in extra time or something, or penalties. But I wouldn't be surprised if AC Milan got the job done anyway. This is actually the pink one, Ray. I have 3 Bayern and 3 Napoli players. Should I take out all Bayern players and have faith in Napoli? Andres, maybe not all. Maybe depends on who you have from Bayern. Like if you have like Coman or Gnabry, I'll be tempted to take them out. If you have a defender like Davis or Cancelo, I'll be tempted to take them out. If you have Sane, maybe keep him. He looked very threatening last week. And for sure, he doesn't want to get punched again by Mane. So I'm sure he will score tomorrow. If he doesn't score, Mane will probably punch him again. So he doesn't want that to happen. So I think he will get something tomorrow. If it's Sane, you can keep him. But the other 2, I'll be tempted to take them out. Should I keep Grealish and Gundogan or swap one of them for another player? Let me know the rest of your midfield alpha, but I'd be tempted to probably take out Gundogan and bring in another midfielder. Jazz says Ramos to Osimhen, Sane to KDB, Musiala to Valverde, Zielinski or Grealish. Ramos to Osimhen is fine. Sane to KDB, as I said, I'd be tempted to stick with Sane because they have to go for it. And I think last week he took something like 5 or 6 shots. He was literally playing by himself. And as I said, he doesn't want to get punched again. I'd be tempted to keep Sane. If that is the only Bayern Munich player you have, I'd be tempted to keep him. Musiala was rested the other day when they played against Hoffenheim, I think. He didn't start that game, so he could start in this one. I mean, listen, if you don't want to keep Sane because it's very expensive, you can take him out, but keep Musiala. Keep one of them in, either Musiala or Sane. Mostly Sane because he got into some really good positions. So if you're taking out Musiala, I'd bring in Valverde. That would be my first option. I think Real Madrid will get another 3 goals today. But again, it depends on how many other Real Madrid players you have. If you already have Vinicius and Valverde and Vinicius and Benzema and Modric or someone, then I'd go for Zielinski. Is Bastoni a good option? Yes. Inter Milan, clean sheets. They love a clean sheet, and that game could easily. I've predicted 1-1. It could easily end 0-0. So Bastoni is definitely a good option. Alan, how are you? Nice seeing you again. Thoughts on Osman captain? Always a good option. The only thing I'm worried about is what if he's not 100% recovered from the injury and then he picks up something and gets subbed off at halftime? That would be a killer. But I mean, you can look at that as well with the Real Madrid team. What if they get 2 early goals and they're 4 goals ahead and they take out Benzema or Vinicius? That could happen as well. But Osimhen would be my 4th choice captain because of the risk. I mean, if he plays 90 minutes, he definitely scores. But the problem is the injury. We don't know how much he's recovered, or can it go off or something. Maybe it's because of the lights, Ray. Who do you think I should swap Gundogan for in your option? Let me know how your midfield is looking, Alpha. Who else do you have in midfield? But probably Valverde or Rodrigo if you don't already have them. I'm 32nd in my country. Hope to hit top 20 by the end of tomorrow. Very good option. Very good. Very possible. Sorry, it's very, very possible. I'm like 50th in my country. Very possible as well. I mean, you could get like the top guys are very serious with the game and they're still playing it. But maybe by this stage, some people will forget to make their transfers and stuff. So you still have an advantage because you're still playing. Gundogan is fine if you trust him. Yeah, he is fine if you trust him. But it's so hard to predict Man City's team. Rodrigo definitely plays in midfield. Haaland definitely plays up front. Now, Bernardo Silva started last week in the Champions League against them. But Mahrez started this weekend. I don't think Mahrez starts, so Bernardo Silva could start again. Or since they are 4 goals ahead, could he have a different approach? Maybe go with both Gundogan and Rodrigo in midfield and just have the 2 of them in midfield and not play a 4-3-3 and instead play like a 4-2-3-1. Like, you never know. I have Gundogan, Grealish, Vinicius, Kvaratskhelia, and Joao Mario. And your question was, should I keep Grealish or Gundogan on swap one for another player? Gundogan, Grealish, Vinicius, Kvaratskhelia, and Joao Mario. I'd be tempted to take out Gundogan for Rodrigo. I think Real Madrid will be on fire today. That is what I'd do. And I think the last time Chelsea played with Real Madrid last season, I think Rodrigo, there's a game he got like 2 goals. I think it could have been the one they played at Stamford Bridge, if I'm not wrong. Or there's one game last season that he scored like 1 or 2 goals against Chelsea. So I'd go for Rodrigo. Do transfers get rolled over in knockouts? Nope. If you don't use the 3 transfers right now, you don't get an extra one next week. It disappears. So you only get 3 transfers this week, and next round you get 5 transfers. You can't get 6. Rahmani, any good? Yes, I have him in my team. You're so close to scoring last week, and you're so close to keeping a clean sheet as well until AC Milan scored. So he's always a good option. I've had him like this is the 3rd week. I captained Pellegrino in Norwegian fantasy and he scored 19 points. He got a hat trick and I didn't have him in my team because he had an injury. So sad. But Pellegrino is fire. We played against Bodo Glimt this season, Arsenal, and you could see they're very good, especially at their place. They're a very good team. Very good captaincy choice. I might start making content for that. I mean, I'm not a professional, like in terms of watching. I mean, there's no way you can watch those games apart from highlights, but I do follow it. So I might start making that content in terms of that league. Remove Haaland for Benzema, Rafael, and Osimhen. Definitely do not remove Haaland for anyone. Haaland is a machine, Zaki. You're removing a machine for human beings. Do not do that. It's always better to have a machine. Haaland for Benzema, Rafael, and Osimhen. I would definitely take out. Remove Haaland for Benzema. Who are the players you have right now? I'd definitely take out Rafa Silva. I would not take out Haaland. I wouldn't even think about taking out Haaland. That's a bad idea. Haaland is a machine. You know, he can actually score a hat-trick tomorrow and you'll be like, wow, he scored another hat-trick. Liad says Theo Hernandez plus Barella, Bastoni plus Grealish or Damian plus Bernardo Silva. Wow, good question. Theo Hernandez plus Barella, Bastoni plus Grealish or Damian plus Bernardo. Damian is very cheap. Bastoni. I wouldn't go for the first option. I love Theo Hernandez, but I feel like Napoli will score. So it would be the second or the third one. I'd say Bastoni and Grealish, Liad. do make videos, it will help a lot. I think I will. I'm not like in detail like the way we do this Champions League fantasy videos because we know every single player. I know the players from the Norwegian league because I follow it, but in terms of like pronunciation and stuff, oh my goodness, I'll have to learn a lot. But yeah, I might do it from now. The match week 3. Last season I finished 800 without watching any of their games, so I was like, oh wow, this actually is fun. Yeah, you see like that one for the first name that you used, Chim. I think that is Swedish league, right? I cannot pronounce that name. I've never played Swedish league though. I mean, it could be interesting. I've never seen it though. I'll try and search for it, Chim. But yeah, I know you mean like Swedish league fantasy is better than Norwegian league fantasy. I always have problems pronouncing that Svenskan and Eliteserien or something. I won't even bother. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Russia? Is Norwegian fantasy that popular? I saw it a few times already. I mean, it's not that popular. It's I mean, last season I think I saw like 60 or 70,000 people playing. So it's not that popular yet. But these things will grow. Like in the next 2-3, like the first time I started playing FPL in 2015, there was like 1.5 million people playing, and like FPL on Twitter, they had like 100,000 followers. Fast forward to now, FPL have like 3-4 million followers on Twitter, and in terms of the game, there's like 12 million people playing it. So they've had an increase of like 11 million players like the last 7 years since they started playing. I think that's the same thing that will happen with Champions League fantasy as well. By the time we get to 2-3 years, they'll be like, right now I think like 2-3 million people playing. It could be like 6-7 million playing. Like these games are becoming more popular, so Norwegian will also grow slowly. The problem with leagues like that is like you don't have anywhere to watch it unless you're in Norway or based in those sides. There's really nowhere to watch those games. But like the good thing with the Norwegian league fantasy, like on the app itself, but online, like on the website when you're arranging your team, there's a place where you can actually watch the highlights. So you can just click on a certain game and watch the highlights. So that also helps. But it will become popular like more and more. But at the moment, last season I played it with like 60,000 people. Not as popular as FPL, obviously. But it's very interesting, very fun because there's also like 18 teams only, so it's also so fun. Valverde or Modric? Valverde because it goes forward more. I have zero knowledge about this. I just play on intuition, says Ray. I mean, I played it for. So you know what happened with the Norwegian fantasy? I played it in 2019 first, and then 2020 because of COVID, I somehow forgot to make my team, and then I realized like in the 10th week that oh shoot, I didn't make my team, and then I came back in 2021, and then 2022, and then this is like my 4th season. It's fun though. Captaining Benzema, but I think it's Vinicius' game. I have a feeling as well, Farouk, like on that, if James goes forward, that side, it's going to be interesting. The last week, Vinicius had something like 17 touches in Chelsea's box. That is very scary. I think Chelsea as a team, they had less than 10 in Real Madrid's box. Valverde or Modric or Cruz? Valverde. It's Sharma. Oh, how are you, man? You changed your name? Interesting. What do you think? Who do you think the best captain out of this? Benzema, Osimhen, Vinicius, Zielinski, Rodrigo. In order: Vinicius, Benzema, Osimhen, Rodrigo, Zielinski. Would you have any Inter Milan midfielders instead of Grealish? Nope. They will play the likes of Barrel and the likes of Mkhitaryan, but I wouldn't go for an Inter Milan midfielder. They never really do a lot. Did you play Serie A fantasy? I've never really gotten into it. The ones I play, FPL, Champions League fantasy, Bundesliga fantasy. There's a guy who gets a lot of points in that fantasy, like Bellingham and Musiala. Absolutely amazing having them. And then I also play Norwegian and also EUSA, MLS. So those are the 5 games I play in terms of fantasy. I might add some more. The good thing with Norwegian fantasy as well, like if you really love playing fantasy football, because FPL ends in May, but the Norwegian league just started. So in June, July, August, when there's no Premier League, there's no Serie A, there's no La Liga, there's no Bundesliga, those other leagues like Norwegian leagues are continuing. So to keep yourself busy and stuff, if you absolutely love fantasy football, you can keep on playing those ones. But I've never really got into Serie A. Maybe next season. I have no idea who to play this match day. Let me know your team. Rehan says Kvaratskhelia, Vinicius, KDB, Musiala, Joao Mario. First three, great. I'd be very tempted to bring in another Real Madrid midfielder, to be honest. Very tempted. Either Rodrigo or Valverde for Musiala. I'd be very tempted to do that. Carvajal or Alaba, definitely Carvajal. He was very unlucky not to get an assist last week. If Vinicius scored from that, but Benzema scored from the rebound. So, hi Glenn, how are you? Soldier Boy, nice seeing you again. As Soldier Boy says, like the video, appreciate it. Do you watch F1? I absolutely watch F1. Like, in terms of sports, Soldier Boy, I follow basketball. That is what is on screen right now. I'm watching the repeat of Sacramento Kings and Golden State Warriors from yesterday. That is what I'm watching right now. So I follow basketball religiously. I follow football religiously. I follow rugby religiously. I follow tennis religiously. I follow F1 religiously as well. And a bit of boxing and athletics and stuff. I've not yet got myself into MMA, maybe soon. But I watch F1 and sorry to the Mercedes fans, I am a big Verstappen fan. I want him to get to 7 titles. That is what I want. So yeah, I'm a Red Bull fan as well. Do you think Coman and Musiala start tomorrow? Musiala definitely. He was rested in the last game, in the league game. Coman, not sure. They could easily move Gnabry to the right side and play Muller up front. La Liga, not yet, but maybe next season. All the keep going. You'll grow like anything. I appreciate it, Zaki. Chelsea seem to have prepared the run formation. They are playing Gallagher like behind the striker. That is very scary, man. That is very scary. I expect this to be low scoring contest, to be honest. No, Ja. It depends on who you have defensively. Chelsea could have 10 defenders right now and they'd still concede 5 goals. Because the only good thing they have at the back really is Thiago Silva and James going forward. But Cucurella, nope. Last week, Fofana was torn apart by Vinicius and even James himself. So I don't think so. Do you watch IPL Dream 11? Not yet. I don't watch the Indian Premier League and I don't watch cricket. Those are the only ones maybe I don't watch. Chelsea seem to have read that one. Should I transfer out Vlachodimos for Onana? I could be tempted because Onana is the one who's going to be there next round. But you never know. I mean, if there's a game someone could turn around, it could be that one. Benfica could come from behind. Jack of all trades, watches everything. Yes, everything, man. Like on a Saturday, for the people who don't love sports, I always wonder what they do on Saturday, on Sunday. Like when I wake up on Saturday, Premier League, it finishes. I watch a Serie A game. It finishes. I watch a Real Madrid game. It finishes. I watch Lakers playing against Minnesota Timberwolves. It finishes. I watch F1 the next morning. It finishes. I watch rugby. It finishes. Like it's always sports over the weekend. Always. But seriously, you gotta get in that UFC action. I might. I do see the highlights and stuff. But I've never really like sat down and watched a full match. Might have to. I mean, that's why I knew Ronda Rousey anyway. Please recommend a differential midfielder. Tough one. For me, I have Tonali, but he won't really get forward a lot. He's gotten a couple of assists this season. Tonali could be, but how many people own Rodrigo at the moment? Let me just check. Rodrigo is owned by 6%. That could be a good differential, Abubakar. Yes, Verstappen. Max all the way. Sergio Perez all the way. W. Kvaratskhelia, Vinicius, KDB, Musiala, Mario. Defenders, Grimaldo, Theo, Carvajal, Lorenzo, Ake, Courtois, Vlachodimos. 2 free transfers left. Any suggestions, says Rehan. Goalkeeper, Carvajal, Theo, Lorenzo, Ake. Ake has been playing well. I'd be tempted to take out Musiala for Rodrigo, as I've said, and I'd be tempted to maybe change Vlachodimos to Onana. That is in preparation for the next round, just in case a team like Napoli or Real Madrid suddenly go out today. At least you've prepared for the next round and you'll have like the 4 or 5 transfers to make. KDB or Maris, says Abubakar. KDB, Mars will not start. I think he played over the weekend. I think he doesn't start. But that is Pep. You just never know. Do you play F1 fantasy? I have never played F1 fantasy. I know about it, but I always somehow get late and stuff. But that is one again. I mean, by next year, I could easily be playing 10 fantasy games. It becomes a bit of a headache, but it's fun. I mean, yeah, sometimes I don't usually agree with people saying sometimes it gets into your head. Like if you're playing FPL and stuff and you get so annoyed that it gets into your head, then maybe you need a break. But for me, it doesn't really get into my head. Like FPL this season, like I've not done that well. I've had the likes of Odegaard from the start, which has helped, but I've not like Martinelli. I've not had him for like a month, so I wouldn't really get stressed for that with that. But if you're playing it for fun and just enjoying, there's no problem with playing all of them. Among Osimhen, Vinicius, Benzema, who is the first captaincy choice? First one is Vinicius, and then Benzema, and then Osimhen. Benzema is on penalty, so if they get a penalty, Benzema, it's always the first one is always the player who takes the penalties. But the way Vinicius has been playing, I think I've seen like since the second match day, I think he scored 6 goals and 5 assists in the Champions League. So he's on fire. He's doing better than Benzema in the Champions League this season. Do you think Bayern make a comeback? I have a strong intuition that they are going to pull this one out of the fire, says Zaki. My predictions, Real Madrid to beat Chelsea 3-1, Real Madrid to go through, 5-1 on aggregate. Napoli to beat AC Milan 3-2. That will mean extra time. Napoli to go through on extra time or penalties. Inter Milan 1, Benfica 1. Inter Milan win is it 3-1 or something? 3-1 on aggregate, yes. And then Bayern Munich to beat Man City 3-2, but that will mean Man City wins 6-3 on aggregate. So comeback, no. I can't see it. I support Arsenal. We are playing Man City next week, and I'm absolutely cropping myself already. Like, I am so scared. Like, I'm like, oh, man, Haaland. I don't know, man. They could... we might not be talking about the title by next week. Should I replace Kim Min-jae with Drakmani? If you have the cash, for sure, go for it. Jack, I don't know why I have a feeling Gundogan will score and get more returns than Grealish. It could happen, but they don't really have to go for it. Gundogan does get himself into some really good positions up front, but Grealish, since he's on form and really enjoying himself. Just says Arsenal bottling it, I see, can't be acting cocky around United fans for a while. West Ham game was bad. Drawing with them was bad. But, the last time Arsenal lost a game, it's been a while. So I don't really think it's bottling it. We've just had a couple of draws. Ray says, no, don't say Real Madrid will go away. It makes my heart go up. They won't. They won't. They'll win 5-1 on aggregate. Marons, how are you? He says, thinking of doing Kim to Damian. That sounds good. Rudiger to Cavell, that sounds good as well. And Coman to Rodrigo, Vlachodimos to Onana. Which one do you think? Rodrigo, get in Rodrigo for sure. Sanya, Rodrigo for sure. I just have a feeling they'll score a bunch of goals today, man. I have a feeling they'll score a bunch of goals. If I got 4 Napoli players, does it mean I should go with Osimhen as captain because I trust them to beat AC Milan? Actually, I'd look at that as if I have 4 players from one team, I wouldn't really captain a player from that team as well, just in case they don't score. It's not double disaster. Like I have 4 players, none of them did anything. And also my captain is from that game and he didn't do anything. That's double disaster. So I never have like 4 players from one team, 5 players from one team, or in FPL, 3 players from one team. I usually captain a player from a different team so that it's not double. There's a word I'm looking for, double something. I've forgotten the word. But I mean, if you really trust Napoli, Lied, you can always go for it. Since it's the first day and you can change your captain tomorrow, then you can go for it. But I'd be tempted to go for a Real Madrid player. I'll see that. I'll see. Expect Onana. You don't have another Inter Milan. Do you think Benfica will come back? You're asking why I only have one Inter Milan player. Because I really wanted to bring in Rodrigo, I really wanted to bring in Osimhen. Damian could be an option. I don't think they'll turn it around now. I think Inter Milan will go through. But Inter Milan also don't score a lot of goals. And I hate the fact that Zeko could play 45 minutes and then Lukaku comes on, or this one plays a half and then this one comes on. I don't like that. I prefer a player playing 90 minutes, and the likes of Lautaro Martinez do not play 90 minutes. They get subbed off. So I usually avoid strikers from Inter Milan, to be honest. And the midfielders, I don't think they're very exciting. The likes of Barella and the likes of Mkhitaryan, I don't think they're very exciting. So Maybe if you want a double defense, no problem. If you have the free transfer to add another defender from them, no problem at all. Can you check my team? Any suggestion changes? I'm for 15-year league. I will check it on my phone right now. Haaland for if he wins Ballon d'Or, if he wins treble, it's Messi Mafia again. I don't think Messi will win it again this time. They've had a decent season, but yeah, I don't think he'll win it this time. Haaland could be an option. Of Mbappe will be there as well. Who else could be there? Like if I was to name a top 10 right now, Haaland will definitely be there. Mbappe will definitely be there. I mean, I think Ronaldo and Messi could still make the top 10, but maybe number 10 and 9. Vinicius could be there as well. Benzema's had a couple of injuries, but he could be there as well. I mean, the funny thing is that Kvaratskhelia could be an option as well. I mean, he's had a very incredible year. Osimhen could be an option as well. Salah as well. I'm tempted to say Saka and Rashford because they've had a very good year, but usually, like, you have to do a lot to get into the Ballon d'Or list, like win trophies and stuff. Like, you have to do a lot. I have one free transfer left. Who do you think is the best replacement for Mahrez? Rodrigo. Alan says you convinced me on Rodrigo. Hopefully, that's something. But Rodrigo hasn't scored in ages despite getting chances. He's up against Cucurella. I have a feeling it's going to be today, Alpha. I have a feeling it's going to be today like goal or assist something. Score predictions, any clean sheets? Nope. 3-1 Real Madrid, 3-2 Napoli, 1-1 Inter Milan, 3-2 Bayern Munich. So no clean sheets. But if there's a team that could keep a clean sheet, maybe Inter Milan or Benfica, one of those teams. Defender for Man City, Akeo Diaz, Johnny. KDB could be an option, but I don't have him personally. I feel like there's other options, and there's always a chance City could score 2 and he gets subbed off. And last week they got 4 goals and they didn't do anything, unfortunately. I've not forgotten about your question. 45th in the B squad. I've not forgotten. I'm checking. Keep or sell Son. Yeah, if you're going to keep a player from Bayern, it's going to be him. I would keep him. I also got 4 Real Madrid players, so I have 5. I really trust them. I really, really trust them. In a hypothetical situation where both Napoli and Madrid go out, so will you take a negative hit to transfer out 9 players? I mean, if that happens, you have to. If that happens, you definitely have to. But I do not take hits in my fantasy games at all. Like, as I said, since I started playing FPL in 2015, I have taken 4 hits in total, like -4. I've done it 4 times. I've never, ever taken a -8. Never in my life. No, not even the Champions League fantasy. But if that happens, Napoli and Real Madrid go out, then you have to. And if that happens, that is basically season over because I've gone with a lot of players from those teams. From your team, Sharma, I would take out Ramos probably. I'd also be tempted to take out Goretzka. And I'd also be tempted to take out Delete as a defender. So those would be my 3 transfers. Damian from Inter Milan, an option. You could bring in Rodrigo as well and Osimhen as well. How are you, Andres? I have a tough one. Benzema, Haaland, Ramos. By the way, hit the like button if I've answered your question. I'd really appreciate it. Benzema, Haaland, Ramos. I would really be tempted to bring in Osimhen for Ramos. Sane, Coman, Kvaratskhelia, Mario Silva, Grimaldo, Carvalho, Di Lorenzo, and Kim. Who should I take out? Definitely Kim. He's suspended. You should definitely take him out. You can bring on Mario Ruiz around the same price, and you can also bring Juan Jesus if you want a really cheap differential from the same team. Also, Tomori from AC Milan, if you prefer. Depends on which team you feel is going to win there. I would go for Mario Ruiz probably, and then Juan Jesus as the differential. And then up front, I'd bring in Osimhen for Ramos. And then I wouldn't go for both Son and Coman. I'd be tempted to take out Coman for... I keep on saying this guy. I'll keep on saying it, Rodrigo. Hopefully he scores the first 10 minutes and then I don't have to worry about him. Antonio Silva for Bastoni, yes. Militao to Diaz or Bastoni plus Sane to Rodrigo. Already have 5 Real Madrid players. Militao. Oh, so you're thinking of bringing Rodrigo, but you have to take out Militao. I get your question. You already have 5 Madrid players. So Camille, I would do Militao to Bastoni, and then I would do Son, I mean, wait. Before you do that, Camille, if you already have 5 Real Madrid players, I feel like Son is going to do okay tomorrow. I really feel like Son is going to do okay tomorrow. Militao, I'd stick with the team that you have, Camille. I'd stick with the team that you have, just 51% to 49%. I'd be tempted to keep Militao and Sane. If you already have Vinicius and Benzema, then just hope Rodrigo doesn't go crazy. But if you have free transfers to make that, I mean, why not? So I feel like Rodrigo is also going to do really well. I appreciate it, Trey. Thank you for watching as always. What are you eating for dinner? Sane Rodriguez, so hard. Bayern must score, so the most likely Sane and Chubamoting is back tomorrow. Sane Rodriguez, so hard. Bayern must score. Yeah, they have to score. They have to score a lot, actually. Sane will go for it, and as I said, for the ones who aren't here, he doesn't want to get slapped again by Mane, so he probably will score. But I still lean towards Rodrigo. Captain Kvashile, Benzema, Vinicius, Johnny. Why is FPL so messed up this season? Hope to at least reach 300 rank by then. Currently 573rd in UCL fantasy though. Such seasons happen. Like in terms of FPL as well, this season has been terrible. I think I'm like 900k. This has been a terrible FPL season. Because I got too late. I brought in Rashford too late after he'd already scored all those goals. I've not had Martinelli yet. I'm an Arsenal fan, which is very annoying. I've not had Martinelli. Would you prefer Inter double up in defense or one Inter, one Benfica? I'd prefer one Inter, one Benfica. Eka. FPL runs for 38 game weeks. Yeah, FPL is a marathon. This one is a sprint. I'm around 100k in FPL. That's not bad. I mean, there's a lot. There's like 12 million people playing it. So if you're 100k, that means you're doing really well. Mane slapped led to his departure. He slapped him, and he'll definitely score. I'm telling you that one. He's punched him. Literally had a wound for more than a week. That means he really punched him hard. Like if you have a black wound in your lip for more than a week, that means he punched you really hard. It was not like something soft. Merit is a good option. I mean, I still prefer Courtois, then Onana, then Merit maybe as the third option. But if you already had him, and then you have other transfers to make, then I would keep him. So let me just quickly change my captain really quickly before I forget. I'm changing captaincy from Kvaratskhelia. If it goes ahead and gets like 2 goals and 2 assists, I'd be very disappointed. But I feel like Vinicius is going to rip Chelsea apart once again. So I am going to go for Vinicius as the captain. This is the first time I've had like all 11 players starting on the same day. So I've gone for basically 3 teams, 5 Real Madrid players, 4 Napoli players, 2 AC Milan players. No Chelsea players for me, no Bayern Munich players for me. I have 1 Inter Milan player, 2 Benfica players, and 1 Man City player on the bench waiting to come on just in case. Or 3 players on the bench and 1 machine in Erling Haaland. I am happy. Hopefully, these guys do something today. Hopefully, the both of them do something today. But I actually do think they'll do a lot. Chelsea, you're in big trouble today. Absolutely big trouble. You only have less than 15 minutes to make your transfers and to decide on your teams. Next time, you have 5 transfers. So when is the next game week? 9th May. Oh, wow. That's far. So how many weeks is that from now? Let me just check. That's not next week and that's not the following week. So today is 18th. Oh yeah, there's no Champions League games like for the next 3 weeks. Oh, that's a lot of time to prepare for the semi-final. A lot of time. So I'll probably do a watch list video and a fast draft or something. Players to keep an eye on for the next 3 weeks. If it's going to be Real Madrid versus Man City and Inter Milan versus Napoli, it could be anything, to be honest. It doesn't have to be those ones. It could be any of those games. Manon says KDB or Coman. I'd say KDB. KDB would be my option from those 2. There's always a chance Coman could be subbed off early. There's always a chance he might not start. They might just prefer to go with Muller up front and then Gnabry on the right side. Because last week it didn't work out for them. When they played Gnabry up front and Coman on the right, it was terrible. They did not do anything at all last week. So Sane was the only one who did anything in their whole team last week. Just him. So I'm happy with this team. Hopefully they can do something. The most last week I said I was targeting 70 points. I got 68. I only failed by 2. If I captain Vinicius, I would have crossed that. This week I'm going to say. This week I'm going to go for 80. I feel like Vinicius and Benzema and Carvajal and Rodrigo could be great options for sure. I appreciate you guys watching as always. The next few weeks we'll be covering watch lists. We'll be covering fast drafts as well. We already know the draws, which teams can go through and all that. So, and tomorrow night, our reaction video as always. If my captain doesn't do anything today, who do I change my captain to? It's probably going to be Joao Mario Haaland. I'll probably go for Joao Mario because they have to go for it tomorrow. So I would probably just change it to Joao Mario, or just to be safe, just go for Haaland or someone. If you want to be safe, Haaland could be the best option. But yeah, those would be the best options from tomorrow if you're going to change your captain. 10 minutes to go to the deadline, 10 minutes to go. As always, if you have any questions for tomorrow, you can just comment on this video after we finish. I'll answer it before tomorrow. That would be great. But I'll end it here. Let me go prepare for the next to watch the games. I really, really appreciate you guys watching as always, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.